There's something many people over the age of 60 quietly admit. Cleaning the kitchen is becoming more exhausting than it used to be. Hands aren't as steady, knees aren't as strong, and sometimes eyesight just isn't sharp enough to catch those tiny smudges. Simple tasks, like wiping the stove, freshening the fridge, or unclogging the sink, now feel a lot more difficult than they once were. That's why many have come to rely on heavy-duty cleaning products, expensive, heavily scented, and sometimes more harmful than helpful. Some leave hands dry and irritated. Others are filled with harsh chemicals no one really understands. And then there are those who just give up, thinking, no matter how hard I try, it's never clean enough. Why bother? But the truth is, the solution might be far simpler, and it may already be sitting right inside your kitchen cabinet. It doesn't smell like chemicals, it doesn't need rubber gloves, it won't give you a headache or make you cough. That solution is vinegar. In this video on Senior Rise, you'll discover 15 incredibly effective uses for vinegar, divided into 4 levels, from simple to surprisingly powerful. This isn't just about clever tricks. These are solutions that help you save energy, time, and money, created especially for those who want to reclaim the joy and ease of caring for their own kitchen. If cleaning has ever felt like a battle, stay with us through this video. Because maybe, just maybe, vinegar is the gentle companion you've been looking for. And if you see yourself in this story, don't hesitate to leave a comment or hit subscribe. Senior Rise is a space created just for you. Level 1. Simple solutions. Easy to do, easy to see results. Not every effective solution has to be complicated. Sometimes it's the small things, done the right way, that make the biggest difference. That's why the first 4 tips below are the perfect place to start. They're simple, easy to apply, and require almost no effort at all. 1. Cleaning the microwave. No scrubbing, no chemicals. Have you ever opened your microwave and immediately winced at the stubborn stains and lingering food smells inside? It's a common problem, especially when we just reheat something quickly and forget to wipe afterward. Over time, splattered food hardens on the walls and the smell seeps into everything you heat afterward. The solution? Just a bowl of water and a bit of white vinegar. Pour 2 cups of water into a microwave-safe bowl. Add half a cup of vinegar and microwave for about 5 minutes. The steam will loosen all those stuck-on stains. Let it sit for 2 more minutes, then simply wipe the inside with a damp cloth. The grime comes off effortlessly, like it was never there. Have you tried this method before? If not, give it a shot today. No harsh cleaners, no gloves, no elbow grease, just 7 minutes. And your microwave smells fresh and looks brand new. 2. Cleaning glass. For a streak-free, crystal-clear finish, windows, mirrors, oven glass. Wherever there's smudged glass, the whole kitchen feels less clean. Many people try every brand of window cleaner out there, only to find streaks, dust, or cloudy residue still lingering. Here's a better recipe. Mix 1 part white vinegar with 2 parts warm water and add a tiny drop of dish soap. Spray it evenly on the glass, wipe in circular motions, then finish with long strokes from top to bottom using a microfiber cloth or newspaper. In just minutes, grease and dirt disappear. And the result? Glass so clear, it's almost invisible. You can use this method on bathroom mirrors, living room windows, even car windows. There's something satisfying about looking through spotless glass. It truly lifts the mood. 3. Disinfecting sponges and dishcloths. Before they spread germs, Most of us reuse the same sponge or cloth day after day. But what many don't realize is that those very tools are often the dirtiest things in the kitchen. Every time we wipe down a mess, sponges soak up food particles, grease, and moisture, creating the perfect home for bacteria to thrive. Don't wait until they smell bad to act. Soak them for 15 minutes in a solution of 1 part vinegar and 2 parts hot water. For extra dirty sponges, use pure vinegar for 5 minutes. After soaking, wring them out, rinse thoroughly, and air dry completely. You'll notice the odor disappears. The sponge feels soft and clean again. Most importantly, you won't be unknowingly spreading bacteria across your kitchen. If you've been using a musty dishcloth for a few days now, this might be its chance to start over. Sometimes all it takes is a little vinegar to bring things back to life. 4. Deodorizing the fridge. Making every open feel easier. Some refrigerators give off a deep sigh every time the door is opened, and not just from the person opening it. The mix of old food, wilted veggies, and raw meat odors can turn even a simple snack search into a chore. No need for fancy charcoal boxes or overpriced odor absorbers. All you need is vinegar. Mix 2 tablespoons of white vinegar with 1 cup of water and wipe down every drawer, shelf, and wall, even the egg tray. If the smell persists, place a small bowl of pure vinegar inside the fridge for a few hours. Afterward, let the fridge air out before putting the food back in. The result? A fridge that not only smells better, but is also cleaner. Vinegar's natural antibacterial properties help preserve food longer and create a healthier storage space. Have you ever hesitated to open the fridge just because of the smell? Maybe today's the day your fridge finally gets a breath of fresh air. Level 2. Tough problems, gently solved by vinegar. There are challenges in the kitchen that go beyond wiping a surface or removing a mild odor. These are stubborn marks and issues that build up over days, weeks, or even months of neglect. Burnt stains, clogged drains, or that chalky white buildup on fixtures. Fortunately, even in the face of these tougher challenges, vinegar never gives up. 5. Cutting through greasy stovetops. When regular cleaners just don't work anymore. When you cook every day, the grease doesn't just stay in the pot or pan. It rises, clings to the stovetop, the surrounding tiles, even the walls, and after a few weeks, it forms a thick, yellowish, sticky layer. And the frustrating part? The more you wipe with a wet cloth, the more it just smears and spreads. Many people reach for specialized degreasers, only to be hit with a strong chemical smell and dry, irritated hands. Vinegar offers a gentler, but just as effective, solution. Mix equal parts white vinegar and warm water in a spray bottle. Spray it generously across the stovetop, including the burners and grates. Let it sit for 10 minutes, just enough time for the vinegar's natural acidity to break down the stubborn grease. Then, simply wipe with a damp cloth. You'll see the grease lift away like it was never there. No scrubbing required. For older, hardened stains, warm the vinegar solution slightly in the microwave before applying. The results will be even better. The magic? Your stovetop isn't just clean, it shines, and the lingering smell of burnt grease? Gone. What's left is a light, fresh scent and a sense of peace. Cleaning no longer feels like a battle. It becomes a quiet, calming ritual, like restoring order and dignity to the space where meals and memories are made. 6. Unclogging a sink. Without calling a plumber or using harsh chemicals, there's a common creeping frustration in every kitchen: the slow, draining sink. First, It's just a few seconds of standing water. Then come the gurgling sounds. Eventually, the water just won't go down. Most of us instinctively reach for those harsh drain cleaners, the ones with warning labels and sharp odors. Others call a plumber, spending time and money, and surrendering control over their own space. But what many don't realize is that with just 2 simple ingredients, baking soda and vinegar, you can solve the problem safely and effectively yourself. Start by pouring half a cup of baking soda directly into the drain. Then, add 1 cup of white vinegar. The fizzing reaction you hear? That's the mixture working, breaking down grease, food particles, and soap scum deep in the pipes. Cover the drain with a clean cloth. Wait 15 minutes, then flush with a kettle of boiling water. That's it. No chemical fumes, no pipe damage, and no need to call anyone. The water flows freely again. The bad smell disappears, and your sink feels refreshed. This isn't just a household trick. It's a quiet act of empowerment. There's something deeply satisfying about solving a messy problem with your own hands and realizing you never needed anything fancy to begin with. 7. Removing limescale from faucets. When metal loses its shine, in any kitchen, the faucet is one of the most used fixtures, from washing hands and vegetables to rinsing dishes. And because of that, it's also one of the first places to show signs of hard water buildup. White, crusty limescale creeps in, left behind by evaporated minerals, dulling the shine, making the faucet look old and neglected. Many replace the entire fixture, not knowing that a little vinegar can bring it back to life. The method is gentle. Soak a soft cloth in pure white vinegar and wrap it around the affected faucet. If the buildup is around the spout, place vinegar in a small plastic bag and secure it with a rubber band so it covers the area completely. Leave it for at least 2 hours or overnight for heavier buildup. When you remove the cloth or bag, a gentle scrub with an old toothbrush will make the white crust flake away easily. And underneath, a faucet that gleams like new. The best part? No harsh chemicals, no damage to the surface, no irritation to your hands. What seems like a problem worth replacing is solved with just a few cents worth of vinegar, something you probably already have on your shelf. Sometimes all you need is to give vinegar a chance to do what it does best: gently restore what time has worn down. 8. Deodorizing plastic containers. When yesterday's food smell just won't go away, no one enjoys opening a food container only to be hit with the lingering smell of last night's dinner. Even after being washed with soap and left to dry, plastic containers often hold onto the odors of garlic, onions, fish sauce, or curry, like a stubborn memory that refuses to fade. Why does this happen? Because plastic is porous and absorbs odors. Once the smell seeps in, it tends to stay, and can even affect the taste and aroma of whatever fresh food you plan to store next. Instead of throwing the container away or simply tolerating it, here's a simple fix. Fill the container with warm water, add half a cup of white vinegar, seal the lid, and let it soak for at least 2 hours. Gently shake the container from time to time to allow the solution to coat all inner surfaces. If the smell is especially strong, add a little baking soda. The fizzy reaction helps break down and lift odors faster. After soaking, rinse thoroughly with clean water and let the container air dry. You'll find it odorless once again, fresh and ready to hold your meals without any hint of yesterday's leftovers. There's something truly satisfying about storing food in a container that smells clean and carries no trace of the past. It's a small but meaningful way to show respect, not just for your ingredients, but for your own health and care. 9. Restoring burnt pots and pans, reviving what you thought was ruined. Who among us hasn't, at least once, forgotten a pot on the stove, a phone call that ran long, an engaging TV show, or just one moment of distraction, and suddenly the bottom is charred black, smoking, covered in an impossible crust. Many people resort to aggressive scrubbing with knives or steel wool, or simply give up and buy a new one. But the truth is, you don't need anything sharp or harsh. All you need is vinegar. Fill the scorched pot with enough water to cover the burnt area. Add half a cup of white vinegar and bring it to a boil for about 10 minutes. As it boils, the vinegar's acidity works with the heat to loosen the blackened layer at the bottom. Turn off the stove, let it cool, then gently scrape with a wooden spoon or a soft scrubber. You'll watch the burnt parts peel away like old leaves. Here's the magic. The pot won't be scratched, warped, or damaged. You won't wince every time you see that burnt spot again. Instead, you'll feel a quiet sense of victory, like you've just rescued a trusted old friend from a hard time. The kitchen is a place full of emotion, and sometimes reviving an old pot is about more than cleaning. It's about preserving a memory, a gift, a shared meal, a moment that mattered. If you're still watching or reading up to this point, thank you. We're about to step into the most meaningful part of this journey, where vinegar doesn't just clean, but brings things back to life you thought were long gone. Level 3. Reviving old items. A feeling of surprise and savings. There are items in the kitchen that we often think are ready to be thrown away. They've lost their shine, their freshness, and carry marks of time that seem impossible to erase. But vinegar, a humble ingredient, has the power to bring back what we thought was gone. No need to replace, no need to discard. Sometimes all it takes is giving them a chance to be revived. 10. Removing rust from utensils. When the shine has faded from the metal, there are knives, spoons, and forks that become rusty over time, especially when stored in damp conditions or rarely used. Many people see rust and immediately think it's ruined, time to throw it out. But the truth is, rust isn't the end. It's simply a sign that the item needs a little care. Soak the rusty utensil in pure white vinegar for about an hour, or overnight if the rust is stubborn. The acid in the vinegar dissolves iron oxide, the main cause of rust. After soaking, gently scrub with fine steel wool or a soft metal brush. Rinse with water, dry thoroughly, and apply a light layer of oil for protection. The result is truly remarkable. These tools aren't just cleaned, they're restored to honor. Not because they're expensive, but because they've been with us through countless meals and memories. Instead of discarding, choosing to care for them is sometimes a way to honor the quiet service of everyday things. 11. Removing tea and coffee stains. Bringing your favorite cup back to life. If you're someone who loves hot tea or morning coffee, you know this feeling well. A beloved mug stained with brown streaks along the sides or at the bottom, no matter how well you clean it, the marks remain as if time had etched them in. Once again, vinegar comes to the rescue. Simply fill the stained cup with white vinegar and let it sit for an hour or overnight, depending on the stain. Then scrub gently with a soft brush or the back of a spoon. You'll see the brown layer gradually fade away. For especially stubborn stains, add a little coarse salt. It gives just enough abrasion to clean without scratching the surface. When the mug is clean again, It's not just new, it feels restored, like realizing you don't need to replace something to make it better, you just need to care for it differently. Is there an item in your kitchen that you've kept, even though it's no longer perfect? Maybe today is the day you give it a new chance. 12. Polishing metal. No chemicals, just a brilliant shine. We often pay attention to how clean our tools are, but forget that shine is also part of what makes something feel well cared for. Cutlery, stainless steel pots, even metal towel racks. Over time, they lose their luster, their ability to reflect light the way they once did. Many think you need a special polish to fix that, but truthfully, vinegar can do it in just a few minutes. Mix white vinegar and water in a 1:1 ratio and add a pinch of fine salt. Dip a soft cloth in the solution and wipe the metal surface in circular motions. After thoroughly wiping, rinse with warm water and dry immediately to prevent streaks. You'll see the shine return, not blinding, but soft, elegant, and quietly beautiful. This method works on stainless steel, aluminum, copper, even silver, without corrosion or damage. But more importantly, it invites you to look at your well-used kitchen items with a new sense of appreciation. 13. Deep cleaning the blender, clearing hidden residue and odors. Blenders are essential for anyone who loves smoothies, juices, or soups. But the hardest part isn't blending, it's cleaning. Small crevices, sharp blades, and the base of the jar are all areas where smells and food residue hide, especially if left unwashed for a few days. With vinegar, this becomes so much easier. Add 2 cups of warm water and half a cup of white vinegar to the jar, then run the blender on high for about a minute. This mixture will reach into every corner, loosening grime and neutralizing odor at the root. Let it sit for 10 minutes, blend again for the 30 seconds, then pour it out and rinse thoroughly with clean water. Your blender will come out fresh, spotless, and free from lingering fruit smells or old residue. No more hesitation every time you open the lid, because you know your equipment is truly clean. If any of these tips woke up a forgotten item in your kitchen, go ahead and give it a try. Sometimes transformation doesn't come from buying more, but from taking better care of what we already have. Level 4. Deep cleaning, keeping the kitchen safe and fresh after many years of cooking. Everyone comes to understand. The kitchen is not just a place to prepare food. It is a space that creates stability, routine, and a sense of dignity in daily life. A deeply cleaned kitchen not only makes meals taste better, but also lightens the spirit, as if you've cleared away a part of your mind along with the dirt. These final 3 tips are the secrets to keeping a kitchen not just clean on the surface, but clean at its core, long-lasting and sustainable. 14. Cleaning the oven, eliminating burnt smells and grease buildup. The oven is a beloved appliance where loaves rise, roasts become fragrant, and family dinners turn into special occasions. But for the same reason, it easily collects grease, burnt food particles, and layers of grime that darken and release unpleasant odors every time it's turned on. Many commercial oven cleaners have harsh fumes, sting the eyes, and require heavy gloves. Vinegar, combined with water, offers a surprisingly gentle but deeply effective alternative. Pour half a cup of white vinegar and half a cup of water into an oven-safe dish and place it in a cold oven. Heat the oven to 380 and let it sit for about 45 minutes. The acidic steam loosens baked-on grease and grime. When the oven has cooled, wipe it clean with a damp cloth. For stubborn spots, Mix baking soda with vinegar into a paste and scrub lightly. Each time you do this, the oven feels not just cleaner, but fresher. Bread will smell sweeter, roasts will taste fuller, because the old odors are gone. 15. Sanitizing cutting boards. A hidden hotspot of bacteria. The cutting board is an essential kitchen tool, but it's also one of the dirtiest, if not properly maintained. Every time you cut raw meat, fish, onions, or vegetables, bacteria, food particles, and odors lodge deep into its grooves, especially on wooden boards. Many assume soap and water is enough, but the truth is, some things can't be seen with the naked eye. Vinegar, combined with coarse salt and lemon, makes a natural, powerful, and safe disinfectant. Sprinkle salt evenly across the surface, pour white vinegar over it, then scrub firmly with half a lemon in circular motions. The acids from vinegar and lemon penetrate the grooves, killing bacteria and neutralizing odors. Rinse with hot water and dry thoroughly. You'll find the board cleaner, fresher, and almost like new again. No need for industrial cleaners, no need to replace boards too often. With regular care, your board stays safe and long-lasting. Keeping a cutting board sanitized is really about keeping meals safe and wholesome. Once every surface is clean and every utensil smells fresh, there's still one final touch that makes a kitchen feel different. The scent. Not the heavy odor of chemicals, but a light, refreshing fragrance that makes you want to step into the kitchen each morning. And yes, vinegar can help with that too. Add a few drops of essential oil to white vinegar, pour into a spray bottle, and mist lightly onto cleaning cloths or countertops. Or simply place a small bowl of vinegar in a corner, quietly absorbing odors throughout the day. Vinegar doesn't just mask smells, it neutralizes the air, leaving a sense of clarity in every breath. A fresh-smelling kitchen eases the mind, especially for older adults, for whom the home is the most cherished place. If you've stayed with me all the way to this point, thank you. Your patience reveals something important, that you truly care about your home. And in the end, that care itself is the greatest gift you give to the people you love. When we talk about taking care of the home, people often think of big things, buying new furniture, remodeling spaces, or completely rearranging everything. But those who have lived long enough and deep enough know that lasting change doesn't come from showy gestures. It comes from small, steady, quiet actions, like using a bit of white vinegar to wipe down a stained stove, or bringing a burnt pot back to life. You may have heard hundreds of household tips in your lifetime, but what you've just seen today isn't just 15 vinegar uses. It's a reminder. Many things you thought were broken are really just waiting for you to notice them again. Many things you thought had to be thrown away may only need a chance to be renewed. And you, at any age, can still choose to create that change, starting right in your own kitchen. Vinegar doesn't just clean, it saves money. It simplifies life. It helps us care for our living spaces in safer, healthier ways. But most importantly, it shows that true care doesn't have to be expensive. It only asks for patience and a little heart. If you've stayed until the end of this video, it probably means that part of you also longs for a tidier, lighter, more peaceful way of living, found in life's small details. And that is exactly why the Senior Eyes channel exists, to walk beside you on that journey, one small step at a time. If you've ever tried one of these tips, or if you have a special memory tied to cleaning, share it in the comments. Your story might be the very inspiration someone else needs today. And if you found this content relatable and helpful, Don't forget to hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Here at Senior Rise, we share gentle, practical insights every week, created especially for those over 60, so that your home can be not just clean, but also warm and truly worth living in. Because you deserve to live in a space that makes you smile each morning. And sometimes, all you really need is just a bottle of vinegar.